Welcome to the Global Explorer channel. Today we take a closer look at Guyana's recent election and the new winner shaping the nation's future. The 2025 Guyana elections have concluded and the results are in. President Irfaan Ali has been re-elected to lead the nation for another term. He has secured a decisive victory, signaling continuity in development and governance. His platform focuses on housing, infrastructure, healthcare, and transparent management of the country's booming oil sector, while promoting economic diversification and inclusive growth. But what does this mean for the country, its citizens, the diaspora, and the world? This is more than just an election. To understand today's election, we must first appreciate the rich history of Guyana's politics. Since gaining independence in 1966, Guyana's political landscape has been shaped by two main forces: the People's National Congress, PNC, the People's Progressive Party, Civic, PPPC. Over the decades, other political parties have also risen and played important roles, adding to Guyana's democratic journey and giving citizens more voices in shaping the future. Building stronger communities, expanding infrastructure, and preparing the foundation for today's opportunities. Now, with vast oil discoveries and rapid economic growth, Guyana stands as one of South America's fastest rising nations. Today's election carries not only national importance, but also global economic and geopolitical significance, as the world watches this young democracy step into a new era of progress. In this documentary, we explore the election and political dynamics that led to President Irfaan Ali's victory, his key policies and projects and how they shape the future of Guyana, the global significance of his leadership, what this means for ordinary citizens, businesses, and the diaspora. Join me as we dive into Guyana's journey and the vision shaping its next chapter. Today, Guyana is on the world stage. With vast oil discoveries, the country has become one of the fastest growing economies in the world. A remarkable transformation that has captured global attention. This moment is about more than an election. It is about the direction of a nation, the stewardship of newfound wealth, and the responsibility to shape a future of unity, prosperity, and global significance. Elections now carry global economic and geopolitical significance. The 2025 election campaigns, issues, and voter sentiments. The 2025 election was a high-stakes contest with record voter turnout. The major parties campaigned on distinct platforms. The PPPC President Ali's platform, continuity of development projects. Focus on housing, infrastructure, and healthcare. Oil management transparency and economic diversification. The opposition party win. Today, we're looking at one of the newest and fastest growing political movements in Guyana, the WIN Party, short for We Invest in Nationhood. Founded by Azruddin Mohammed, captured over 109,000 votes. WIN won key regions like Region 10 and Region 7, and quickly rose to become the official opposition, overtaking the long-standing APNU coalition. WIN criticized PPPC of slow social program rollout. Calls for reform in governance and public services. While the ruling PPPC retained power with a landslide victory, Wisconsin, N's rise showed that Guyana's political landscape is shifting, and fast. For many citizens, this election was about trust, stability, and the future of the nation. President Ali's message of development and inclusive governance resonated with the electorate, resulting in a decisive victory. Political implications of Ali's victory. President Ali's win ensures political stability and continuity in governance. His administration will continue strengthening public institutions, maintaining law and order, implementing long-term development projects, the opposition retains a critical role in holding the government accountable, ensuring debates over policy remain constructive. Political stability also signals confidence to investors and international partners, enhancing Guyana's global standing. Key projects and the road ahead. President Ali's administration has a comprehensive vision for Guyana's development. Here are the major projects and initiatives. Infrastructure development. New ports and shipping links to make Guyana a regional logistics hub. Energy hub development to support industrial growth and renewable energy. Highway expansions like the Great Diamond to Busby Dam project, improving mobility. Housing initiatives. Construction of 30,000 new homes over the next 5 years, providing affordable housing and creating 150,000 jobs. Transitioning citizens from house lots to full home ownership. Education and knowledge economy. Expansion of educational infrastructure, including Tuition Secondary School for University of Guyana programs. Investments in research and technology to diversify the economy beyond oil. Healthcare expansion. Modern hospitals like the Lima Regional Hospital provide accessible health care to rural and coastal communities. Digital infrastructure. Proposed data center in Wales, West Bank, Demerara to enhance digital services. Sustainable energy and environment. Solar and storage projects promoting clean energy. Forest conservation and climate-resilient infrastructure initiatives. Economic diversification. Agro-processing, manufacturing, and other sectors aimed at reducing reliance on oil while strengthening economic resilience. These projects demonstrate a vision of a modern, prosperous, and inclusive Guyana, investing in both people and infrastructure for long-term growth. Beyond blueprints and announcements, work has already begun. and the results are starting to show across communities and the economy. Ongoing projects and early wins. The Horaruni housing development is underway, with GY $1.5 billion invested in roads and drainage to prepare approximately 400 residential lots. The government is starting construction on the first 100 one-bedroom homes for young professionals. A broader housing and road infrastructure push has seen GY $6.5 billion approved for projects such as expansions of Massey and Stadium roads, carriageway upgrades from the Demerara River Bridge to Heroes Highway, and works in the Wales housing area and electrification of new schemes. Across the country, transformative infrastructure is reshaping the landscape. Budgets allocated include $209 billion for public infrastructure, with flagship projects like the Corentine River Bridge to Suriname, Burbus River Bridge replacement, East Bank and East Coast Road widenings. In the health and education sectors, Phase 2 of a $125 million hospital modernization initiative, in partnership with Mount Sinai and Hess, is progressing, including a national cancer center and an electronic medical records rollout. Simultaneously, University of Guyana tuition became free in January 2025, impacting over 11,000 students. Housing schemes are rapidly expanding, over 45,000 house lots allocated by end 2024, with another 25,000 to be prepared in 2025. Around 3,500 homes for young professionals are set for early 2025 completion, and approximately 38,000 individuals are expected to benefit overall. Guyana's real GDP surged by 43.6% in 2024, with oil sector growth of 57.7% and non-oil sectors up 13.1%, a clear sign that development efforts are unleashing broad-based economic activity. The IMF reports that Guyana achieved the world's highest real GDP growth, averaging 47% per year from 2022 to 2024. It projects growth of about 10-25% overall, and around 13% in non-oil GDP for 2025, reflecting both strength and diversification. Further detailed data from the IMF's 2025 Article 4 consultation confirms that oil GDP jumped nearly 58% in 2024, with non-oil GDP up over 13%. Fiscal deficits and inflation remain manageable, and Guyana saw a doubling of its current account surplus. Projections point to 14% annual growth over the next 5 years. The physical signs of Guyana's transformation from roads and bridges to homes, hospitals, and universities are visible and expansive. Economically, the country is not only booming on oil, but its non-oil sectors are also rising fast, affirming that the government's investments are fueling real inclusive development. The economy continues to signal strength, resilience, and a promising trajectory for the country's future. International implications. President Ali's leadership carries far-reaching global significance. Regional influence. Guyana's location allows it to become a hub for trade, energy, and regional cooperation with Brazil, Suriname, and the Caribbean. Global energy market. The rapidly expanding oil sector attracts international attention. Policies emphasizing transparency and sustainable growth signal to investors and trading partners that Guyana is a reliable, stable partner. Diplomatic relations. Maintaining strong ties with the US, China, and EU countries opens doors for trade, investment, and development partnerships, while positioning Guyana as a voice for emerging economies. Climate and sustainability. Leadership. Initiatives in renewable energy, forest conservation, and climate-resilient infrastructure show how small nations can balance economic growth with environmental responsibility, influencing global climate policies. Diaspora impact. Millions of Guyanese abroad see Ali's governance as an opportunity to contribute confidently to national growth through investment, remittances, and advocacy. Global significance. Guyana's growth affects Caribbean energy security. Regional trade flows. Investment patterns in emerging economies. Climate initiatives and sustainable development. In essence, Guyana is emerging as a strategic, economic, and environmentally conscious nation under President Ali's leadership. Citizens' perspectives and the diaspora. For citizens at home, Ali's policies promise improved healthcare, education, housing, and job opportunities. The Guyanese diaspora plays a critical role in national development. Remittances and economic support. Billions are sent annually to families, supporting education, housing, and local businesses. President Ali's focus on stability encourages continued contributions. Investment opportunities. Housing, infrastructure, and energy projects are opportunities for diaspora-led investments. Clear regulations and political stability attract entrepreneurs and philanthropists. Civic and cultural engagement. Diaspora communities participate in elections, educational initiatives, and cultural events, maintaining strong ties to the homeland. Global advocacy. Guyanese abroad advocate for trade, international aid, and climate policies. Ali's governance reinforces the Diaspora's credibility and influence on the world stage. In short, President Ali's win means the diaspora can invest confidently, engage civically, and remain culturally connected, while Guyana benefits from their expertise and contributions. President Irfaan Ali's re-election marks a pivotal moment in Guyana's history. The administration's focus on infrastructure, housing, education, healthcare, digital technology, sustainable energy, and economic diversification positions the nation for long-term growth. Internationally, Guyana is becoming a regional leader in trade, energy, and environmental responsibility. Citizens and the diaspora, this is a moment of opportunity, hope, and unity. From independence to today, Guyana has come a long way. Under President Ali, the nation faces the future with optimism, resilience, and ambition. The journey continues, and the eyes of the world remain on this small but rising nation in South America. From independence to today, Guyana has shown resilience, hope, and strength. Under President Ali, the journey continues, and the eyes of the world are on this small but rising nation in South America. If this video inspired you, please like, share, and subscribe. It's free, and it helps us grow together. Leave a comment to share your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. Together, Guyana moves forward. One people, one nation, and one destiny. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.